Hey folks, welcome back to another Q&A session. If you would like personalized, dedicated support, please use this link where you will see information about how you can work with me personally. There are 3 ways. You can just set up sessions, you can become a full personal client, or you can sign up for the Eczema Healing Workshop, which is an online course that I set up with Rebecca Bonneteau, who is a specialist naturopath in eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, and all that other horrible stuff. So getting into today's questions, the first question comes from somebody who calls themselves F, who under the video I made about seborrheic dermatitis and whether it's curable or not, he says, I'm on no poo, that means no shampoo, and it helped with the itchiness and oiliness, but the dry yellow scales are still there and I think they are eating up my hair. So first of all, well done for going on the no shampoo diet and getting rid of all the chemicals that is associated with that. Even some of the natural stuff that's labeled natural, it's not doing your hair, your body any good, so it's best gotten rid of. As far as the yellow scales that you're talking about, please give it time. And if necessary, if they're really stubborn, just ease them off, wash them off, just gently massage them off using your hand. Physically, you can do this. Don't use chemicals to get stuff off. Just let the water and the massage gently exfoliate and get rid of that stuff. You do want ultimately that stuff to get away from your body. You don't want it reabsorbed. You don't want it sat there. It can cause more inflammation and irritation if it's left there. If it's well formed enough to pick off with tweezers and it's kind of already coming away and separating from the skin, then do that. But overall, stay on the program, give it time, and it will work out for you in the end. The next question comes from Soccer Bee Fever, who says, why don't you show in just one video step by step how to heal eczema? You're just like the other YouTube gurus, just many YouTube views and get money for buying books, or like this. So Soccer Bee Fever, thank you for your question. Why don't I answer how to heal your eczema step by step in one video? I have got about 50 videos on this channel that are all about how to heal your eczema, and there's so many different ways, different things that people need to be doing that they're not doing. I've got, I think at the last count, 174 videos on this channel, and they all talk about something different. There's no duplications of information. So if you go and you watch all of those, there's a playlist on this channel called The Complete Guide to Healing Eczema. And if you watch the videos in that playlist, if you've got time to watch all of them, there's probably hours of content there. You will go through a step-by-step approach on how to deal with this. If I put it all into one video, it would be a documentary. It would be at least 2 hours long, and let's face it, on YouTube, people are just not looking for that sort of content. So I've split it all up into these videos. If you want it all in one place, please get a copy of The Complete Guide to Healing Eczema, which I've put everything into an ebook. It's just £12. Download it, listen to it, because there's an audio guide, and you'll get all the help that you need. As far as getting YouTube views, money for buying books and all that sort of thing, this stuff takes time, and for a long time, this was the only job I did. I dedicated my life to healing you guys from eczema and psoriasis and dermatitis. So I absolutely had to charge for that service, and I do still charge for personal consultations and coaching. A lengthy question here from Jensen's. In general, I agree. So this is about the video I made about not using any moisturization on your skin at all. In general, I agree. No moisture is the best for skin. I'm 33 years old and have eczema my whole life. When I use moisture too often, it feels like skin gets addicted to moisture. And sometimes the skin changes, and from this moment, the moisture makes it not better anymore, worse instead. I agree, Jensen's. Doctors won't believe me. I agree with that too. But when I have had a really bad flare-up, I need something. I take hot showers when it's very itchy, which dries out my skin, but help in desperate times. My new moisture is Sorry-On Cream. I know hot shower is bad and moisture too in the long term. What should I do when I've a very big flare-up, very itchy, and big torture? I have to do something. Thanks for your videos. Very helpful. Sorry for my bad English. Your English is great. Thank you, Jensens, for commenting and for leaving your question there about what to do when you have a very big flare-up, very itchy and big torture. I love to address this stuff as internally as possible. So if a client calls me up or drops me an email and says, I have a huge flare-up and I don't know what to do, my first go-to is make sure you're hydrated, make sure you're rested, make sure your eliminations for the day are going really well. If you need to give it a helping hand with an enema, do that. And then the other things you can do is get on the garlic program, which is a very strong natural antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal, which will help to eliminate any residuals that are sitting there. And have a good night's sleep, free of any excess matter that's in your colon, and it will help your inflammation and it will help the itchiness. Another thing that you can do as well, once you've done all that, is you can do a cold compress, which is getting a flannel or something and filling it with really cold water, wringing it out well and placing it over the area that is giving you the most amount of pain. Jammer says, what do you think of brown sugar used for tea? Is it okay? If you're going through real candida issues, there are certain clients which I suggest don't using any refined sugar, but for the general public, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Next question comes from S21972012145525, who says, what is leaky gut? Can it be diagnosed by a medical practitioner or is it a more underlying condition? Well, it is an underlying condition, and I believe it can be diagnosed by a medical practitioner, such as a naturopath or another holistic health professional. I've never gone down that route because the telltale signs for leaky gut are so strong that it's easier and less hassle actually to do what fixes leaky gut than it is to go through all the testing to find out categorically whether leaky gut is exactly what you have. So I recommend the treatment in this case instead of the diagnosis. And the last question from Sandra Poku. Hi Greg, can you do a video on what steps you need to do to remain eczema free once healed? For example, diet, exercise, etc. It's a great question, and I love that you're asking that question because it means that your mindset is forward. Even if you've still got eczema right now, you're thinking of the long-term plan. So major kudos for doing that. The last portion of the book, The Complete Guide to Healing Eczema, is called the Thriving Program, and it details exactly what I recommend for all of that. But just to summarize here and now, you can definitely get a lot more, I don't want to say lax with the diet because I don't like thinking about lax and I don't like thinking about it like a diet. But what I mean is where you were perhaps rigorously, fastidiously 100% raw or zero processed foods, you will be able to go back to a place where you have processed foods every now and again. No oils. I don't think oil should ever be in anyone's diet. And animal products, really, there's very little reason to go back to those as well. But you will be able to be more creative. You'll be able to have more ingredients over the course of a day or over the course of a meal. There are certain things that you can do to make this whole process, the whole maintenance phase, if you like, much more enjoyable. As far as exercise, you will naturally be doing a lot more of that because if you followed the program, you'll be a very active person already, even as part of the healing process. But once you are healed, you'll have so much more energy to play with because your gut will be working right, and so your absorption levels will be excellent. And so you'll just have loads of energy to play with. You'll want to go and ride your bike, want to go walking or running in the hills. It's a lot of fun. This whole foods, plant-based lifestyle is by far and away the most fun I've ever seen anyone have on planet Earth. So those are the questions for today. Thank you very much for sending in your questions. If you have questions of your own, please drop me a line on Instagram at Eczema Healing, or just send me an email, info@eczemahealing.org. You're free to go. Thanks again for watching. I will see you next Wednesday.